Well, it almost seemed as if the brakes were put on the Chennai innings, and we still haven't quite deciphered how it happened. Last 5 overs, not a single boundary scored, a mere 24 runs, and it wasn't as if they were bowled out or had a flurry of wickets falling. It didn't happen. Jagadish remained there, not out 39 of 33. Gaikwad, 53 of 49. Look at the strike rates. Moeen Ali looked like he was blazing. He was 21 of 17. The end result? 133 for 5 in 20 overs. Not very consequential, this game, in terms of actual leadership, team movements, anything, but it's still a mystery to be solved. Lisa and Shaun join me on Cricbuzz Live. Shaun, can you put your finger on this one? No boundaries, last 5 overs wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, there's a movie called Failure to Launch. I think that's the subtitle for this movie. No, this didn't get going, and I suppose that happens with experience, doesn't it? I mean, your people who probably go at the top of the order, your Moeen Alis, but when it gets to guys who haven't played as much, the ability to pull the trigger at the back end is probably where they lost it. Shivan Dube's been sorted out with a short ball twice now. So that's a real issue for him. But even MS, when he got to the crease, just couldn't really get anything away. Gaikwad was fantastic for his 53, but the strike rate wasn't anything to write home at, thinking that he scored at one stage. I think he scored 14 of 3 deliveries. So, yeah, real no impetus to that innings whatsoever. I mean, the bowling was good. It was pretty accurate. But I think there needed to be a bit more intent from CSK, to be honest.
That's probably the word we were all searching for, Lisa, the intent, because while we know, we've all admitted, they have no mathematical possibility of making the playoffs. We talked about pride of performance, planning for next season, and of course, why not be party poopers? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think they're going to poop any parties at this rate.
No, they certainly won't. When we talk about intent, the bowlers bowled well. Yep, they bowled into the pitch. They took the pace off. Now, intent doesn't mean you come down willy-nilly and try and swing, the kitchen sink at it. What it means is that you're willing to move around the crease, that you're trying to open up a different area. It was almost like they were just waiting for the loose ball and wanting to put it away, and it just never really came. So in that sense, there was no intent. There was no batters going, okay, I've got a few dots. Where's my go-to shot? Where can I find a boundary? What can I do to upset the bowler's line and length? You talk about the amount of, or the lack of boundaries at the back end. The other thing that stands out as well, there was 9 overs in that innings that was 4 runs or less. Like 9 overs. It's nearly half of your overs. You're just not even going at a run a ball. So, that's criminal from Chennai.
Two things as well. I mean, Rashid Khan normally is the guy who squeezes. He went for, I think, back-to-back sixes at one stage in his over. And in all my years of watching IPL, last 5 overs, I've never seen a game where there hasn't been a boundary. When I say, and people haven't been bowled out, if 9, 10, and 11 are at the crease for those 5 overs, then maybe you can understand it. But not one boundary in the last 5 overs. You've got to go back and say, well, the bowlers bowled unbelievably well, or there was something wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, even with Shaun's scenario, Lisa, if you think of times when 9, 10, 11 are playing, they'll give it a good old whack, maybe even of the last ball. Something will fly off the edge, inside edge through the stump. So maybe you'll call that a bit of luck. Maybe they didn't have that bit of luck, but you just didn't see the intent, someone to push it there at the end, and the inexperience of someone like a Jagadish showed out there. Yeah,
it did. And I mean, you needed someone to go out there and just show that they were willing to try something different. I mean, we can't explain it. Maybe it's because Chennai are out, because they made that many changes. Everyone kind of forgot what to do out there and how to post a decent total. I mean, we could have read the game completely wrong. I mean, Gujarat could come out and they may absolutely struggle to chase on this pitch. I doubt it. But I guess we have to wait and see until the second team bats. I'm trying to find a positive here. Come on, guys. Work with me.
But I think often what you see with the younger guys get opportunities is they go the other way, don't they? They come out and play too many shots. They don't take their time. Whereas, I mean, there was just such a lull in the game at one stage in the middle there. So, they've got to be disappointed. And then if you look at their bowling lineup, there's even more inexperience there. So how do they defend that? I'm not so sure they can. But yeah, I mean,
decent performances, Shaun, but nothing that you.
Shami continues, doesn't he? I mean, he's just been brilliant, Shami. At the top, he's got such good control of that length. I mean, the top of off, he's like honed in there. He's got like a magnet where he takes all his deliveries to. Joseph was good for his 1 for 15. Sthalekar Shaw 1 for 31. I was impressed with what he did. And Dale went for, what did he go for? 14 in 3 deliveries, I think it was, in his first over, and managed to bounce back. So, yeah, everyone will be pretty much happy. And obviously, we mentioned earlier in the Combox, Pandya back is good signs for them heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, Shaun and I chatted with that briefly, Lisa. We didn't have you there on Cricbuzz Combox, but just your thoughts on that. Not only bowling up front, opened the bowling, bowled a second over. So obviously, looks like he's easing himself in. Didn't give any indication that he intended to bowl any more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I said I would have been surprised if he bowled 2, and he did. And he bowled straight up front, when the pressure is on with the restrictions in the field. So that's really positive signs. And he looked good. He looked in control out there. Went off for his usual drinks break, chat to the coach, whatever he does, just to kind of maybe look at it from a different view. But he did look in control, and good to see him with ball in hand. He just brings another level when he bowls.
I think what we can say too about the CSK performance is it was Pandya's first delivery that sort of summed it up for me. He bowls a no ball and he comes on to bowl the free hit. And Conway just nudged it to mid-on for a single. It's like, what? Surely you're going to be swinging from the hip. So maybe that was where the tone was set.
But I can tell you, Shaun, we tried to look back, and it's been 5 years, but it has happened. 2017, the Royal Challengers Bangalore managed to bat towards the end of the innings, and they scored no boundaries from 16 to 20. Now, that's all the information we have right now. I suspect before we come to our next show, we're going to dig out that match and see who was batting and what happened on that day, because there's got to be a good reason. Today, we haven't really found the reason, have we, Lisa?
No, we haven't. And it may take us the whole second innings to still try and figure it out. So, yeah.
But all in all, if you had to assess the performance, let's remind everyone that MS Dhoni won the toss, decided to bat first. When you do that, you've obviously got a plan in mind. You want to put some runs on the board. Maybe you have decided it's not a 190 surface, but it can't be anything less than a 150 surface. So 133 is under par, no matter what you say. So they will be looking for a way now out of this game, Shaun.
Yeah, but I don't see where that's coming from, to be honest. I mean, it didn't look like it was that difficult. There was no beating the bat. There was no nipping around. It wasn't a prodigious turn. It just looked like it was slightly slow. So you get the roller involved, and that'll probably speed up the surface just a touch and flatten it out a little bit more, and make the ball come on. I think the writing's on the wall. And
they've got a settled 11, have Gujarat. They've got a top lineup. Shubman Gill in form. They've got a wonderful partnership up top with Riddhiman Saha. They've kept in Matthew Wade, so we're not quite sure where he might bat, but at the moment, Hardik Pandya is slated to bat there. Miller would like some time out there in the middle in a run chase like this, Lisa.
Yeah, and he was fairly good in the last game as well. I think 20-odd not-outers. So a little bit more time. You look at that lineup compared to Chennai, very settled. Players know their roles. Players have been able to perform. So not that it's a ticking a box exercise, but Gujarat, can go through this game making sure that they've done everything right. They've done the first half really well. Bowlers have done well. Now it's up to the batters just to finish it off.
Also, this is one of those rare games, Shaun. Had it been maybe 4 matches ago, we'd be saying, okay, it's a small total.
Net run rate.
Quickly, net run rate. That's not happening. They don't need it. They just want to get there at the last ball and say 2 points. That's what we need.
Yeah, they just want the points in the bag. That's why they might be a little bit circumspect, but I think they're still going to come hard. I'm going for 49 in the first 6 overs. We were badly wrong in the first innings total, 133, nowhere near, but 49 for me.
49, so that's a fairly rapid start. Lisa, can we have yours as well?
43.
49, 43. Which way do I go? Will they score more than that? Are they going to come hard? No, they're going to be very conservative about this. 39. I'm going to go even lower. Conservative, and they're going to probably try and win it in 17, 18 overs. Take their time over it, get the 2 points, because for a change, net run rate doesn't matter, and get everybody a little bit of time in the middle. Final question to wrap up the show. Key player for you in the second innings. Could be a person from the chasing side, Lisa. It could be a bowler who might just change his game around.
Yeah, I think Saha. I'd like to see him score some runs. You know, when he moved to the top, he did score runs, and probably the last few games just a little bit quiet. So important for him just to kick on and get everything right before the finals.
Yeah, there's a look at Lisa's pick. 68, 29, 21, 55. Just that one game against Lucknow with a negative strike rate. Otherwise, every time, no matter how much he's got, Wriddhiman Saha has been one of the surprises of this tournament. Remember, he didn't start. It was Matthew Wade at the top consistently as keeper batsman. Now he's there as a sole batsman, is Matthew Wade. Shaun Pollock, last word from you.
Yeah, we're hoping Saha hasn't run out of luck now. But Pandya at 3, he'll be coming at 3. He needs to get his tournament back on track. I think there's a graphic about how he's performed. I want to see him get in there and take the game by the scruff of the neck, get some runs under the belt, and then it'll be all good.
That's exactly what Shaun Pollock said at the start. That's what we want to see. That's what Gujarat want to see if they want to have that playoff scenario sort of well-rounded. That's all we have on Cricbuzz Live. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Shaun. We'll see you in the 10th over of the run chase to see if we're possibly anywhere closer in terms of our predictions. That's all we have on the show.